the inference revolution, China's counterstrike in the global AI race. But before we dig deep into this, let us first quickly summarize what has the AI race been all about up till now. For the last few years, the story of the AI race has been simple. It's been about who has the most powerful cutting edge chips to train the biggest, baddest AI models like the GPT-4. But a tectonic shift is happening, driven by US export controls that restrict China's access to those top tier training chips. China has been forced to adapt, and their response is a masterclass in strategic pivot. They're shifting the battlefield from the high cost, high power race of AI training to the high efficiency mass market opportunity of AI inference. They're not trying to win the race to build the biggest models. They're focusing on winning the race to deploy the smartest, most efficient ones. But what is AI training or AI inference, anyways? Let's try to understand that in the simplest way possible. An AI model is a neural network, a bunch of artificial neurons interacting with each other. There are weights associated with these neurons, and during the training process, when data is fed into these models, these weights are adjusted and then readjusted in every single iteration. This process of adjustment and readjustment of these weights is what we call learning. This is the process of AI training. But when you interact with a model, you basically input something into it and receive an output. This is known as AI inference. Whenever you ask a query, generate an image, translate a text, these are all AI inference activities. No weights are changed over here, thus the model remains the same. As you must have understood by now, AI training is a low frequency activity. We train the model once while building it, and then certain models are retrained after a certain period of time. And AI inference is a high frequency activity. AI training requires higher computation compared to AI inference. Training a frontier LLM requires thousands of the best GPUs, and US sanctions are a hard cap on that access. This forced China to ask a very important question: how do we do more with less? And the answer came in two parts: software ingenuity and hardware optimization. Let's first look at software ingenuity. We saw this in action with the DeepSeek V3 model. DeepSeek claimed to have trained their model for just $5.6 million. To put that in perspective, that is a staggering 93% cheaper than comparable Western models. The secret? A technique called mixture of experts. While the model is huge, 671 billion parameters, only about 37 billion parameters are actually activated for any single user query. This drastically cuts the computation cost for inference. By focusing on these innovations, Chinese firms are achieving competitive performance while using 11 times less compute than Western comparable models. Now let us look at hardware optimization. Chinese companies like Huawei are simultaneously building domestic chips like the Ascend 910C. Reports suggest that 910C delivers about 60% of NVIDIA's H100 performance for inference tasks. Crucially, they are designing these chips and the supporting software like the Ascend Aware Acceleration to be perfectly optimized for efficiency and scale, even if they can't match the raw brute force power of the latest Western training chips. This strategic focus targets the real economic price, while training models is the R&D phase. Inference is the mass production and deployment phase. Market analysts project the global AI inference market to be worth over $400 billion in the coming years. Every single prompt, every generated image, every autonomous driving decision is an inference calculation. China's move is pragmatic. They are racing to dominate this massive ongoing revenue stream using their global south advantage. This efficiency gained through MOE and domestic hardware has a profound global impact. Chinese models are designed to be cost effective and run on extremely inexpensive hardware. This strong price performance ratio makes Chinese AI an immediate appealing solution for developing markets in the global south, where budgets are tighter and infrastructure is less robust. By offering a competitive, affordable AI solution, China establishes a powerful global influence and secures market share in a huge and rapidly growing digital economy. And here is the most interesting point: China's strategy isn't just about chips and models. It's also about the environment, the system within which these chips and models are going to function. It's about infrastructure and sustainability. This is where the great decoupling between compute growth and energy consumption comes in. Data centers are a massive power draw. By 2030, they're expected to more than double their global electricity consumption. To manage this, the Chinese government is implementing the Eastern Data Western Computing Initiative, shifting massive computing infrastructure to resource rich, low cost Western provinces. This secures cheap, sustainable energy for the continuous high volume needs of inference. Meanwhile, China's 5G dominance provides the perfect infrastructure for edge inference, shifting AI processing from huge distant data centers to local devices, smartphones, cameras, factory machinery. They can all be 100 to 1,000 times more energy efficient per task. This national network acts as a vast low latency deployment platform for their highly efficient models. The US sanctions aim to cripple Chinese AI by cutting off access to advanced semiconductors. Instead, they appear to have catalyzed a new strategic focus. The concrete numbers tell us the story. Models trained at 93% lower cost, and domestic chips like the Ascent 910C delivering 60% of top tier performance for the mass market inference. China's strategy flips the script. Architectural innovation can and will compensate for hardware limitations. They are leveraging their massive user base, their state backed infrastructure, and their focus on deployment efficiency to build a powerful, resilient, and globally competitive AI ecosystem. The AI race is no longer about who can train the biggest model in the cloud. It's now about who can run the smartest, most efficient models everywhere. And right now, China is in a strong position to dominate that deployment race. What do you think? Will this focus on efficiency allow China to truly catch up to or even surpass the West in AI deployment? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if there is anything from this particular video that you would like to explore in further depth, or any other topic related to technology, geopolitics, or business strategy that you would like to explore, please mention it in the comment section and I might just take it up for my next video. Thank you.